Shalom. Call all y'all about Shin Yahusha. And I was just doing some stuff and I sat down to check the news and I see this video talking about Lebanon banks remain closed. And the reason why I want to bring this in because it's going to be happening to a lot of different little banks. I won't say little banks, a lot of major banks, whether it be Wells Fargo, Chase Banks, Navy Federal. I already seen it's a Huntington Bank. They closed that shit down. They still got the little ATM in there and shit, but they shut it down and just using certain branches because really let me pause this and pull the scripture up. Really the U.S. dollar is devaluing. And you got competitors like Russia, Iran, China, and Great Britain, and Europe. Their dollar's been increasing, so that's why a lot of different stuff been happening with the financial system. And there's another video too I'm going to talking about. It says, I'll pull it up in a minute once I find the scripture, but it says the top elites, and they basically taking all this stuff out of banks because they fear a collapse or some shit like that. And I ain't never been the type to have banks in any goddamn way. I hate that bank shit. I know about real money. Real money is gold and silver and shit like that. So I've always been into that since I was a little boy. And I was always gravitated towards it. And as I got older, I just got even more into it once I could figure out that you can get stuff from the mint, and they actually let you get physical gold and silver and stuff like that. Let's see, burn the shit cease. This is in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 3. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." When people look out these windows and they see shit like this going on, they're gonna be darkened. And they go to the damn ATM or the bank and they say, "Oh, sorry, ATM temporarily out of service. Bank is closed until further notice." That's why it's good to have cash on hand and shit too, because I know when I go to stores and shit, people look at me weird and be like, "Oh, you got cash?" Like, "Yeah, motherfucker, what you mean? Do I got cash?" I use cards. Sometimes I try not to get in the habit of using them shits because they always ask about that damn chip, which I'm gonna go into in a minute after I go do this.
We can't transfer money abroad, businessmen can't pay their suppliers, so they can't provide for their customers nor their families at home.
And what's going to be the substitute for that? This RFID chip. I'm like, well, since we shutting down the banks, we not able to transfer money to accounts and give out fiat currency. We're gonna push this chip out. So the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that mark is talking about his chip. So when shit like this keep happening, hey, that's next. It ain't that far away. It's alright. Matter of fact, certain.
Is it getting worse by the day?
Take this off full screen.
Lebanon's banks have shut down again after briefly opening their doors last week. Informal capital controls remain in place.
And certain places already got the chip anyway. They just doing stuff to make it mandatory.
Are giving out money with limited amounts per day and only Lebanese pounds, not US dollars, which is essentially a second currency here. Foreign transfers are practically impossible, affecting imports.
The bank remains closed in order to avoid a bank run. People and many depositors coming all of a sudden and asking to withdraw their deposit because of the panic caused by the upheaval taking place in the street and the absence of a solution.
The governor of the central bank has tried to calm people by saying that the stability of the Lebanese pound is guaranteed. But small groups of protesters have stayed on the streets.
الوضع الاقتصادي من قبل الثورة منهار مش من هلا.
The economic crisis has been here long before the revolution. This is not new. What we are doing for the future generations. What our parents vowed to achieve. We will give to our children. We don't want our children to live with thieves the way we had to.
Many people say Lebanon is on the verge of collapse because of ingrained corruption and decades of mismanaged economic policies. The protesters want a new government made up of independent, non-political, and non-sectarian technocrats.
Hey,
But they say they're stopped.
and a lot of these countries, let me pause that. A lot of these countries in these different areas, they link to the U.S. anyway. So when the U.S. dollars start collapsing, all these other places start collapsing because their currency is really not worth shit anyway. Let me go back. That's another video. Let me find it real quick. And I'm just ending this off. I don't want to make it soon. I just want to give a little update. Talk about the world currency and other currencies right now. Now, they had it up, but they must have took it down and moved it to somewhere else. Okay, here you go right here. It said world's ultra rich preparing for market crash. UBS warns. And it's got 007 posted this on this channel.
Ready to invest into your success? Introducing the Purdue Online MBA from the Krannert School of Management. The Purdue MBA ranks number 3 in the nation for highest return on investment.
We have warnings now from UBS, and they are stating that the world's ultra elite are preparing for a market crash, and that not only are the charts kind of showing and signaling this, but there have been sell-offs at a pace that they haven't seen in a long time happening right now in all kinds of markets. And they talk about Trump, and they talk about this whole impeachment process. They talk about here how if they don't get their way here by 2020, the Democrats, and turn 20 Republicans in the Senate against him, then this is going to fall apart. And that a new campaign would be waged against him to bring him down, if that was the case, out here on this world stage. And they state that it would be connected to the markets. Now, Trump himself stated that if anything was to happen, if they were to try to go through with this stuff, fraudulent stuff, and try to take him down, it would crash the market similar to the Great Depression. He stated this. Now we look at the situation and we see that there's more talk and the possibility of them trying to pull off something out here with the markets, and we know inevitably this is going to happen because they will.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. It's in the scriptures. Now, it's an article right here. It's on disclosed.tv. It said technology. It said human RFID chips would not be optional, and they will change the very essence of what it is to be human. Now, hey, the scriptures say that no man might buy or sell except he had a mark of the beast. So when they push this chip, when this dollar collapsed, let me go back to it again. That's why it's good to be seeking Yahweh Hashem Yahushua right now, like trying to, get right as you can right now. Because once this shit happens, Hey, you don't want to wait the last minute. Be, oh Lord, help me. He ain't be trying to hear that. You can all wait. When you was calling, when you weren't calling him when you was out there turning up and doing all the other stuff, whatever you was doing. Now, when this damn chip hit the fan, they tell me you can't buy no food and all that shit. Then people gonna be trying to call and all that. They ain't gonna hear that. I'm going to the scripture after I read this too. When it says, I should laugh at your calamity. Hey, that's gonna happen. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, say we have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, and his mark is the chip. See, in the right hand and the forehead. We'll go back to verse 16. It's in the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 16. It says, and he calls of all. Like this, what it say right here, it says, the RFID chips would not be optional. It says, hey, for the elect it's going to be optional because the elect ain't taking that bullshit. These Edomites, they could burn it as nuclear destruction with this fucking RFID chip shit. But it says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or their foreheads. Hey, and it ain't no coincidence. Here go my right hand right here. They got the right hand on there. You can't make this up, man. Now I'm gonna read some more in the article. It says, RFID chips, the mark of the beast. Yes, the mark of the beast, but we're gonna see what they put in the article. They say already there are many concerns regarding the safety and possible downsides of using these chips. Some fear they will be used by the government. Who do you think creating the shit? It says, or even by unwanted people to spy on one, as it will be GPS. It's in the name, radio frequency, in order to get geological positioning. I think that's what GPS stands for, if I'm mistaken. Geological position, the satellite or something like that. You gotta have radio frequencies. And it says, will be GPS active and a person's movements can be monitored. Some believe as these chips could be used to make purchases, that financial security is an issue. Hold on, let me go pull this video up real quick. The RFID chip party. Now I'm gonna go back into this article, but I just want to show a little, show a little visual. You still have people who don't think this is the mark of the beast. Chip party. It's in the U.S. too. In Wisconsin. So you think it ain't gonna go to these other states? I just want to get to the part where they're actually buying shit. Oh, here we go, right here. See, they got the machines. They already set up. It don't take long for them to put the machines out. You got your candies and all your little goodies and shit over here. Drinks. Put your hand right there. He got it in his left hand, but hey, it don't matter what hand it's in. It's the same shit. Buy your little snack. Man, you can't make this up, man. In your house, boxing, Yahushua, put the spirit on John the Baptist. John in the Hebrew is Yakanan, to see this vision and talk about this right here in the book of Revelation. It says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, I should say, my bad. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, this mark right here. They buying something.
Now a unique card that's identified with the RFID chip. That's the card that's put out. And once we see green, it's going to tell us it's a successful transaction.
Payment has been processed. So let me go back to this article. Now it says, it says some believe, which this shit definitely is true. Ain't no, we can't make this up. It ain't no fairy tale. It ain't no myth. It's actually happening. It says some believe as these chips could be used to make purchases that financial security is an issue. Other concerns include that private information might be compromised, infections, bacterial, and computer variety. Which you had an incident with another guy. He already had put the chip in him and stuff, and hey, he had infections because of the chip. Because you ain't supposed to put this shit in you any damn way. The motherfuckers get tattoos and get infections. What you think gonna happen? You put a radio frequency device in your arm or in your hand, on your forehead, and then they start attaching to your flesh. Because your skin and your flesh, they actually grow. That's why sometimes some people, they shed skin, or, when your nails and shit grow. A lot of skin in your hands always reproduce. So you put a chip in your damn hand. What you think gonna happen? Now it says might occur that people may already be tagged with these devices without their knowledge or consent. More extreme concerns, which these devils, that's why they want people. Oh, come get your flu shot. Oh, you don't want to get sick this season. Don't get them fucking flu shots. It says more extreme concerns include the religious notions that these chips are straight from Revelation, and it is straight from Revelation. And it says it could be considered mark of the beast or a part of a theory that Illuminati, the secret body that governs the population, are using these chips to keep an eye on people and maintain control. Hey, and that's what these devils, they want to do. Let me read some more real quick. It says, whatever the downside, it does not negate the upside in the form of convenience towards having these chips installed. They can open doors, pay for things, unlock and start your car, give parents information about their children's whereabouts. Because they started off chipping animals and certain babies too. So like if they get kidnapped or whatever, you know where they at. Or the animal gets stolen or lost, you know where it's at. It says it sent helpful medical data to healthcare professionals. This can prove useful in emergency situations when immediate care is required or in diagnosing the condition. Speaking for the positive side of these devices, cybernetics professor Mark Gassan, another damn Edomite, it says points out that human beings are already in position of using devices such as their phones and computers as a necessity. A chip is the next step. So hey, let me close this out, man. Go to this other scripture. You see it on the video. The chip, the next step.
Everyone scan UPC with their banking, and then to finalize your payment, you put your RFID chip, hold it against it. Now, my unique card that's identified with the RFID chip, that's going to tell us without it. And once we see green, it's going to tell us it's a successful transaction.
Obviously, this drew a lot of attention and a lot of feedback of, well, they're going to be tracking you down the road. There is no GPS added in this, and there can't be in this particular chip.
I'm just ending this up with this in the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 25. Because you already know, hold on, I pushed the wrong thing. You already know when people see all this shit happening. Because right now, people don't really watch the news like that. You ask certain people, hey, do you watch the news? Oh no, it's too much sad stuff and all that shit going on. No, they just don't want to see no real shit. And then you have people trying to tell their family, maybe friends, or just, people in certain dwelling places or whatever about what's going on. They're going to be trying to hear this shit. So when this stuff hit the fan, they're going to be want to hear it then. It's going to be too late. Now I said in the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 25, it said, but ye have said at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. Now you read into it just a little bit more clarity, because that's in the Old English. It say, because you neglected all my counsel and wanted none of my correction. So when you go around your family members and tell them, oh, you're supposed to be celebrating these pagan holidays, that we actually got our own holidays if you read up on our history, holy days, I should say. And if you tell them about the dietary laws and all this, oh, I love me some bacon and some pork. I gotta eat that. And hey, they don't want to hear no correction. So it say, because you neglected all my counsel and wanted none of my correction, in turn I will mock your calamity. So when all this shit hit the fan, you know how the Most High gonna mock? He gonna put a spirit on certain men and be laughing at that shit. When you see people laughing, like, what the hell they laughing at? All this chaos breaking out. That's gonna be that stern spirit Yahweh Shem Yahushua gonna put on certain men, so they'll be able to laugh and face all this adversity, and it won't be no issue. So Lord's willing, this is edifying. I ain't gonna go on no more. I just want to break that down and bring that up. Banks shutting down. You got stores, the actual stores shutting down and shit. These countries, they doing away with the U.S. dollar. So it's just a matter of time, man. Of course, people go to work and do their daily shit, get their day's bread and all that. But when shit hit the fan, the RFID chip will be implemented. So call all y'all about Shem Yahushua and Shalom to the elect.